Hi, today I'm going to explain section number 3 of science. We are in week 11 and we are studying topic 7, matter, materials and mixtures. The first thing that we are going to do is to watch a video to remember the difference between physical and chemical change. I have prepared the video here on the internet. Okay, it's 2 minutes and 35 seconds and it's going to talk about physical changes and about chemical changes. Okay, it's going to explain, it's going to give examples. It's very interesting to review what we learned the other sessions. Then it says that we have to open our book on pages 102 and 103. Today we are going to study mixtures. This is page 102. You know that I'm going to explain as always, but after that you can open your online book and listen to the different audios that it offers in your computer or in your mobile phone. Okay, let's see what it's going to talk about. Mixtures. A mixture is something that contains two or more different materials. It means that a mixture, okay, is when we mix, for instance, when you want to do a milkshake, okay, and you mix chocolate and syrup and milk, okay, this is a mixture. Or when you mix vegetables with olive oil, this is another mixture because it's made up by two or more different materials. Almost everything around us is a mixture, okay, if you think, almost everything is a mixture, including the air we breathe. If you remember the air, it has got different gases. You remember the oxygen, the dioxide, so this is also a mixture. In some mixtures, we can see the different materials, but in others, it is impossible to see the different materials. Try making the mixtures below because some of them are delicious. Okay, it says that some mixtures you can see perfectly. When you make a fruit salad, you include strawberries, bananas, orange, kiwi, and you can see perfectly the different materials that make this mixture. But for instance, if you mix milk with sugar, you are not going to find the sugar, you are not going to see the sugar. So this is a mixture where you cannot see the materials that form the mixture. Let's see the examples that appear on the book. It says we can see different materials. Okay, here we can see strawberries, bananas, peach or orange. And it says try making these mixtures. Oil and vinegar, chocolate chips and breadcrumbs, soil and sand. And then it says try making these mixtures too. Chocolate powder and milk, sugar and butter, detergent and water. In these ones, we can see the different materials, okay? So, to make it clear, it's like here we have something and it says we can see different materials. Where? Like this. We can see in oil and vinegar, you are going to see the different materials, yes. Chocolate chips and breadcrumbs, you can mix them, but it's not going to be only one mixture. Well, it's not going to be only one material, but you always going to say breadcrumbs and chocolate chips. And then if you mix soil and sand, it's the same, okay? But what happens here? Chocolate powder and milk. You do a milkshake, so you don't see that there are two materials. Sugar and butter, if you mix it, you cannot see either. And detergent and water is the same, okay? Let's see what it says in the next one. Separating materials in a mixture. As we have said, a mixture is something that is made up by two or more materials. So, can we separate these materials? It says, do you think that it is possible to separate the different materials in a mixture? We can separate some materials in a mixture by sieving, filtering, or evaporating. It gives three different techniques to separate. Follow the steps below and learn about these 3 methods. Sieving is when you pick up, for example, you have that, a bucket, and then you have like a dish with little holes, okay, little holes. So it says that this is good for separating solids of different sizes. When you pick up a bit of soil that has different stones and rocks, it's a good method. But for example, it's not going to be a good method to separate a milkshake that is made of chocolate powder and milk. Okay, it's not a good idea because you are not going to have anything here. So it depends the mixture. You will use one technique or another one. So this is the first technique. Let's see the second, filtering. Filtering, it says, is good for separating solids and liquids. Look, for instance, here, okay, you have water and you're putting something like soil. Then you put here the mixture with like a filter, okay, there is a filter, and it's going to separate the water on one place and the soil is not going to go through the filter, only liquid. In evaporating, it's good for separating a solid that is dissolved in a liquid, for instance, the detergent and water. So if you put salt and water, you mix, then you evaporate, and you will see that the salt is in the dish. Okay, you can try at home. So once that we have explained that, we are going to do exercises 6, 7, and 8. Okay, are these ones in your activity book. In exercise number 6, you need to look at the photos. Let's see this example. It says, I can see 3 materials in this mixture. You have to write how many materials can you see on each photo. So you have to use the structure all the time of I can see materials in this mixture. You only change the number of materials. In exercise 7, you need to match 3 sentences about separating mixtures. Okay, the definitions of these 3 different methods or techniques, and then you write all the sentence here, okay, A, B, and C. Sieving is good for filtering is good for okay, depending on the one that you have matched. And finally, number 8, it says, which mixtures in activity 6 do you think you can separate, and how can you separate them? You can use filtering to separate, okay? You have these ones, you have to choose which mixtures can you separate first? And then how can you separate them, okay? On these ones. So you answer, and when you finish, it's the end of lesson number 3. Bye-bye.